So this guy is a liar. Now, the guy's name is Jesse, and Jesse is 26 when the story starts, and he's living in New Zealand, and Jesse has a problem with lying. Like, he's always making stuff up. He tells people that he's a high-level manager at an oil company. He tells people that he owns a $1.3 million house and a $900,000 BMW. He tells people he's a professional softball player for the New Zealand Black Sox. All complete nonsense. In reality, he's kind of a turd who can't hold down a job, and he's likely living on government assistance. And one day, in 2018, he screws his whole life up. Because he gets on Tinder and he's like swiping around, and I guess he's looking for someone to smash with, and that is when he lands on this woman's profile, Grace. And Grace is 21 and she's a nice woman. And for the last year, she's been backpacking around the world and visiting a ton of different countries, and her latest stop is in New Zealand. So Grace is in New Zealand and she's staying in a hostel, and as you could guess, she's trying to meet people. So she gets on Tinder and she starts swiping away, and that is when, boom, she matches with Jesse. And so they start chatting, and they seem to like each other, and they decide to meet up for drinks. So the next day, they meet up. Here is security footage of them actually meeting. And they go and they get drinks, and they get a little food, and I guess their date is going pretty well. So they decide to keep the party going and go bar hopping. And they hit up a few other bars, and they're having a really good time. And of course, because Jesse is Jesse, he's lying his ass off the whole time. He tells her he's a successful businessman. He tells her he's related to a famous rugby player. He says he's planning to visit England, which is where Grace is from. And Grace, of course, has no idea that this dude's a bullshitter. Instead, it seems like she's kind of impressed by him. I mean, he seems cool and mature, and he seems to have a lot going on. In fact, when Jesse goes to the bathroom, she even texts her friend saying how she's on a date with this big oil executive and how he's going to come to England next year. So the date continues, and after several hours of hanging out and bar hopping, they decide to go back to Jesse's place. And here's where shit gets out of control. At Jesse's place, seemingly out of nowhere, he suddenly snaps, and bam, he starts strangling her. And he strangles her until she, unfortunately, dies. And we don't exactly know why he did it, because he was the only person with her, and there are no other witnesses. Plus, he's a liar, so it's hard to believe anything he says. But anyway, after murdering Grace, Jesse is still at home, and he doesn't really seem fazed by what just happened. And her body is still